Hello and welcome to Talking About. I'm John Griffith.
Hi, I'm Kara Kilduff. What's up? We looked like we weren't ready. But didn't the song like cut off?
It happens sometimes.
Yeah, see, that's messed up. What's up, people? Thanks for tuning in.
Yeah, it's always great to have an audience. Hopefully we have an audience.
Whatever.
Yeah.
I'm not attached to outcomes.
How are you?
You know what? I'm okay. I missed the show last month because my best friend got married in LA, and the wedding was fantastic. The peeps that were traders to Brooklyn and moved out west, they were all like, come move out here, see how beautiful it is. And it was very seductive, but then I was like, yeah, but you know what? People on the East Coast,
Are real.
we're very blunt. Like, I mean, in New York, can you imagine rush hour? Like, it's just like, get the F out of the way. We just say what we think. Out there, they're passive aggressive. Like, I had these big sunglasses, and somebody said, oh, those look like those blue blockers, but they look nice on you. No. Just tell me they're doofy sunglasses. Like, there's a lot of that, like, passive aggressive, like, West Coast BS. Nah, son.
I see you're still eating meat.
Yes. Yes. I got asked, yeah. Yep.
I don't know. I mean, well, if I dine with a vegan who's like that, I will say, is it going to bother you if I eat meat?
Right.
Just because, hey, I try to be a polite guy.
Actually, though, everything, like, because Friday night we did like a variety show, because her now wife is a theater director, and Robin's a film director, and so, you know, obviously they know a lot of creative people, so we did this variety show, which was so much fun, and they had the most banging West Indian vegetarian food. It was so good, and then everything was vegetarian all weekend, so it was great.
Okay.
I mean, when I got back to New York, did I have a burger?
But you had your multi-day cleanse.
I did. It was a lot of fun, though. It was.
That's good.
Yes.
Yeah, I never met her wife, but Robin's good people. I like her a lot,
God.
and I'm happy that she's happy.
I love her wife. She's just. They're great.
Yeah, it's amazing the way that how we, through this show and beyond, get to meet people on their way and watch their evolution from who they were to who they're meant to be, and the good ones continue to grow and adapt and change, and it's remarkable, and it's one of the pleasures of all this.
We haven't had her on the show, but well, I got to see a comedian friend out there, Gloria Bigelow, and she's hilarious. And of course, she performed on the variety show, and I couldn't wait. And the funny thing was, we're sitting there beforehand having dinner together, and we were sitting with a couple other people. And Marsha, if you're watching, I would like to give a shout out to you. Marsha is a fabulous makeup artist. But anyway, we were sitting there, and like Gloria and I were going back and forth about, oh wait, like this is one of my favorite jokes of yours, and oh yeah, that's a favorite one. You know, it was good. It was good stuff. Got to reconnect.
That's good. I mean, a lot of people who were New York staples are now out there.
That happens every couple years. I just never thought. I didn't think that my group of people would migrate. You know, and
and so many have flourished.
Yeah, LA is very seductive, I have to say. I mean, it's, you know, nice quality of life, but then you have drought, fire, earthquakes, and
passive aggressiveness.
But then there's the beach.
There's the beach, but there's no central hub out there.
Yeah.
New York has Manhattan as the heart of the city. LA doesn't really have a central heart.
No.
Yeah, it's like there are lots of arteries.
There are.
But nothing centralized like that.
You know what else was fun as an East Coast person? Like, honestly, we don't have the mountains that they have out there. And Friday night was I had to go through the canyons. And I was so distracted. Like, I was just driving like, oh my God, it's so pretty. Oh, fuck. Oh, it's so pretty. Oh my God. And like with those twisty roads, I can't imagine there's much drunk driving out there. I mean, there were people like
Well,
behind.
things closed earlier out there also, I believe.
I don't know, but I mean, on these roads, these mountain roads were like crazy. And then, was it Friday? No, it was the wedding night. Her cousin. Actually, we got to try and get him on the show. He's a rap artist and he's really good. But Amaru, it was the night of the wedding and we were in Malibu and it was like, you know, way up and he's like, yo, you leaving soon? And I was like, yeah, do you want to ride? Where are you going? He's like, nah, just, you know, get me off this mountain and you know, so I could get my Uber. And I was like, okay. This boy, he's not a boy. He's 21 years old or some, yeah. Anyway, Amaru, I adore you. I wasn't going to, like the mom in me or the auntie was like, I'm not leaving you at a gas station. He's like, this is the best part. He's dressed in a tux. He rented a tuxedo. He like came correct. And he says, he was like, yeah, we're in Malibu. Nobody's going to put their hands on me. And I was, I mean, truth. But then I still didn't want to leave the kid, you know? And then I'm like, well, where are you staying? Yeah, I don't know, LA. I was like, boy, I asked you 3 times, what's the address? Give me the address. So I put the address in. I'm staying in Thousand Oaks. He's in Van Nuys, totally out of the way. I looked to see how long it would take. And I looked at him, I was like, I love you, but hell no. He got home okay, but that kid, so good.
That's good.
It was
It's like
fun.
I haven't been out there. I haven't been out there in about 10 years.
Really?
Yeah, I've been to San Francisco in the interim, but I haven't been to LA.
San Francisco.
It was nice to visit once,
Yeah.
and maybe I'll check it out again a decade after I was there the first time. But
Yeah.
LA, I always want to do more visits. I mean, I like visiting there. It's not a me place, but I want to get out there again. It's like last time I went. I packed up my 3 little mini DV cameras and my little home microphone. And I arranged like 5 interviews in my hotel. I taped like 5 shows in a day. And one thing, a friend set me up with this hotel. I said, do you know of any gay-friendly hotels or gay-oriented hotels? She said, yeah, there are these 2. It's like there's A and there's B. And then a little further research into A. Okay, it's a whorehouse crack den. So I stayed at B, which was a little bit less of a whorehouse crack den. So meanwhile, I have these people who are on a niche series coming to this hotel to be interviewed by me across from the room where the hookers of West Hollywood are doing their thing.
Wow.
And I'm having these people, oh, this is such a nice place. I think I saw it in a porn once. Fast forward 10 years, the place has changed hands. It's now this ritzy, high-class, celebrity, little niche hotel that charges thousands of dollars per night. Meanwhile, 10 years ago, it was the West Hollywood whorehouse where they shoot porn on the side.
I like that kind of stuff, though. It makes for good stories.
Yes.
Oh, did you see, I'm thinking about California, you know how, I don't know about New York, but there's school districts in other states where they kind of lunch shame kids who can't afford to. Governor Newsom in California just signed a bill to abolish that practice.
Yes, I saw that, which is
great.
Yeah, because I read within the last month there was this kid I don't know if it was California or where it was. On his birthday, he had a $9 lunch debt, and they gave him his tray, and then they realized he had the lunch debt, and they took the tray back.
Oh,
To a child.
yeah, that's gotta go. That's so wrong. But I saw that news story, and it made me happy because I was looking at everything else, and I felt myself just going, oh, everything's terrible. And then I saw that, I was like, oh, that's a good thing. But you know what we're missing tonight? 2 things. The Canadiens game and the debates. I'm pissed. I wanted to see the debates. I'm happy to be here, but I want to see how my girl Kamala does.
Yeah, I want to see how she does. And Liz is surging ahead, and she's gaining her momentum.
What do you think
And
about Mr. Heart Attack? Should he like stay or go?
I've never been a fan of his. I like some of his ideas, but I think he could do more good in the Senate than in the presidency.
Agreed.
Yes, it's like work with the other contenders and help build up your good ideas, but it's not your time. Your time was over. It wasn't even your time last time.
Bro, 78 years old, heart attack? And they're talking about like Hillary having, what did she have, pneumonia or something?
She had pneumonia, and he was the one who scolded her for not reporting it for 24 hours. Meanwhile, he had the 3, before it even hit the news or anything was released, it was 3 days after the heart attack. So that's a bit hypocritical.
A bit?
Well, he does have a certain amount of underlying misogyny about him.
I'm just not a fan.
I'm not a fan. I'm a fan of some of his ideas. I think each of them has some ideas that I like, and it's like you have your girl. I still have, she's part of my top 3, but I haven't settled completely on one.
I want to meet her.
Well, I'm sure there'll be a rally in New York at some point, and you gotta.
Kamala, you gotta
get
come
in
to
there.
New York. Please, you're just so dope. Like, that's.
Look, I think most of the people who are still in it will, after the victory, have a cabinet position unless they're in the Senate and need to stay in the Senate.
Except Tulsi Gabbard.
That's fine. She was threatening to sit out the debate for some.
Who cares?
Exactly, but I think it was this morning or last night. She said,
I will attend the
"I
debate.
will attend the debate," and it's like I just tweeted back at her. It's like, "Who dis? New phone."
You're like that? Oh, no, I'm not a fan. Wait, did we already talk about Bill de Blasio?
No, we did not. At least
Dum-dum.
he's a middling mayor who's done nothing remarkable. He's not as horribly awful as people make him out to be, but he's not the least bit remarkable in any way, shape, or form either. He's occupying the office and not doing anything special.
No, not at all.
Yeah.
And I have a bone to pick. Like, okay, this is a Manhattan complaint, but I know we're in Queens. But, okay, Queens people.
We run in Manhattan, so go away.
Well,
Go.
whatever. It has to do with the parks, in our parks. I remember in Central Park, the parks people used to give out tickets, like boom, 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 to people with dogs off leash. I don't see anybody giving out tickets anymore, and these people are so brazen about like letting their dogs run around. It's like it's crazy. There are dogs off leash all the time, and if you ask somebody, they'll tell you to go F off. I'm like,
Yeah,
okay.
it's
Well,
nice.
I might just drop these leashes, and these German shepherds might run away from me. I don't know.
Well, I think the previous administrations were way too hard on certain quality of life offenses, and I think this guy has overcorrected way too much.
Ugh.
Okay, eliminating stop and frisk was a good thing, but,
Yes.
but not going after bicyclists and not going after
Ugh.
the poopers. And the off, and the off leash, and
Well,
all the other little things like that could be, improving the city
yeah.
and a source of revenue for the city.
Well, this is another thing. The cyclists in the park, Queens people, what is it like here? Because I don't see it because I don't live in the borough, but they never stop at a stoplight. And they're talking about cyclist deaths and this and that. Well, maybe less cyclists would get hurt if they followed the fucking traffic laws.
And now he just changed the law. I don't know if it's gone into effect. The cyclists now can legally, the walk don't walks change before the street light. The cyclists are now allowed to go with the walk don't walk. I don't know what difference that's supposed to make, if it's supposed to give them a head start, if it's supposed to make them a better target. I'm not sure, it's unclear.
I've
don't
just
know.
gotten really good at giving a dirty look. You know, it just like, yeah. Maybe I should move to California.
But California, it's like when I was there, one of the times I was there twice, and one of the times was for LA Pride, one of them. And it's like, it's like West Hollywood, super crowded, and so you can barely contain yourself on the sidewalk. My left foot ventured off the curb and into the ground, and I nearly got a ticket. Just because the light hadn't changed and my foot hit the street.
Wow.
The cop was in my face, metaphorically.
Well, when I was in LA visiting a friend of mine from here, you can take the girl out of New York because she was driving and some lady was like crossing against the light and she goes, "I'm gonna teach her a lesson," and accelerated. And I was like, "What are you doing, you nut? How do I teach her a lesson? You are a maniac." Made sure I was buckled in. I was, but Jesus, Mary and Joseph.
Oh, jeez.
Like, calm down with the road rage. Oh, that was another thing when I was in LA. I had on my return flight home, I had to return the rental car.
Mm-hmm. I hope so.
Driving was so much fun, but I knew and I was mentally prepared for their rush hour traffic. Oh my God, people complain about New York traffic. Like, LA really, when people talk about the traffic being crazy out there, it's like a thing. It took, we were going like at one point 7 miles an hour, and I just started laughing. Like, how do they get anything done out there?
They don't.
I was in traffic forever. And people were like, polite about letting people move in and out, but wow.
Hernan wouldn't be able to deal with that.
Well, I was prepared for it, so it wasn't like I was gonna like lose my mind, but
Hernan can be at a red light, and if somebody is too far away from the car in front of them, move up, move up, move up. So he's lived in New York, but Buffalo. I don't know if that's how they are in Buffalo. But I don't know. He's. I love him with all my heart.
of course.
But no, I need earplugs and a blindfold for the driving.
It's like deep breaths, calming music, light a candle, burn some incense.
He missed you last month, by the way. He was in town for.
Oh, come on. I had to go, though.
Oh, priorities. I totally get that. He totally gets that. But we just haven't been able to connect. So we're going to have to get you down to Florida.
Yes.
We have a guest room.
I'm not opposed to that. I just went to go visit a friend over the weekend who had a crazy corporate job. She would go to yoga classes and stuff, and she was still angry. And I used to like laugh about it. I'd be like, "Namaste, bitches." But she quit her job and she's living. She moved upstate, and I went there this weekend, and the house that she bought, it just felt. I told her when I walked in, I'm like, "This place is awesome. It feels like an exhale." It was just like, whew. And it was like there were some hippy dippy types, but it was kind of cute walking around and smelling the clean air and walking in the woods and all that. And then I got back to the city. I was like, "Yep, smells like pee."
Welcome home.
I'm home. I'm home.
The smell of urine on the subway.
Oh man.
They should make that into a candle.
Why? I don't know if you've ever experienced this subway stop, but the Walker Street entrance at the Canal Street ACE stop smells like poop all the time. It is disgusting. It smells like it smells like a sewer.
Okay.
Horrible all the time. I don't know about the other entrances. I don't mess with those because I don't need those. But the Walker Street one is like,
Okay.
it's poop.
And maybe it's a midnight bathroom for the homeless.
No, I'm thinking it's like the MTA's pipes and.
That could be, yeah. It's like whenever something drips on me in the subway, I'm very paranoid.
Oh.
What was it? What was it?
Or do you get that way when an AC drips on you? I always think like it's acid rain or something like No.
It burns.
I'm not a fan. Not a fan.
So come to Florida.
Come to sunny Florida. Do you have gators?
Not that I'm aware of. There's a lake a couple blocks away, and there's a sign posted, but I have never seen one.
Goddamn gators.
Iguanas, chameleons. I think I've seen some geckos, some little froggies, and lots of ducks.
Oh.
Lots of ducks.
Lots of ducks.
Right between two lakes.
Oh.
One is fenced off because it belongs to the millionaires next door, and the other one is open to the public.
Why you one percenters got to be taking all kinds of shit just for yourselves, being all greedy? It's like the Vanderbilts and their summer cottages. We're going to take all of this beach, and no one else can use it. We're never here, but no one else can use it.
It's funny. It's like in Queens, behind some of the parks, there's still a stretch of what was once the Vanderbilt's private road to Long Island.
A what?
The Vanderbilts had their own road from Manhattan out to their Long Island homes. And now what remains of it runs through Alley Pond Park and Cunningham Park, and I'm not sure if it runs any further, but now it's a bike path within those parks. It was the original Vanderbilt Motor Parkway. It was their private road.
That's crazy.
I'm waiting for Anderson Cooper to claim it as his.
No, he probably
He
won't.
wouldn't.
Oh, speaking of ridiculous, do you use Uber at all?
Yes, I rode him twice
Did
today.
you get the email about Uber Copter?
Yes.
That's ridiculous. I hardly trust Uber drivers as it is, but Uber Copter, a helicopter to get to JFK? No.
No.
Would you take that? I mean, you take an Uber to a helipad, and then from there you go to JFK. That's a little much.
It is.
That's like,
The train to the plane, $7.50.
I don't know. Maybe I'm just paranoid because remember when it was a bunch of years ago when those one of those sightseeing helicopters went down in the river. That's all I think about. I'm like, no way. No, I'll stay on firm ground.
You've never been on a helicopter?
I have. I was in Germany, and the father of the this family that I was staying with was he was in the army, and I don't know how we got. Anyway, all I know is I was in a helicopter that this guy was piloting, and he was having a ball. I wanted to vomit, and he's going like. Or brushing treetops and this and that, and I was just like, woo. It was thrilling, but yeah.
It was in a helicopter in Alaska. So we did an Alaska cruise, I guess about 7 or 8 years ago, and so we took a helicopter to a glacier and walked around on the glacier.
Oh wow,
that was cool.
That's cool.
We were supposed to do another excursion from the ship that involved a helicopter, but it was too windy and it got canceled.
See if they had Ubercopter.
It would have gone no matter what.
Ubercopter. Why?
Money talks, and I'm sure the 1%ers are loving it.
It's ridiculous. I don't know. I feel like now I feel like one of those old people. Like I'm not like outwardly, but on the internet, I went, "There ought to be a law." Like when I was I take the.
I'm glad you don't have a lawn.
I take the A to the 7, and at rush hour, 42nd Street is a madhouse, and there's some woman like just watching something. Must have been super. There's so many people, and she's just do. That jerk in me really wanted to like get in her way, but I didn't. I'm trying to be more peaceful, but. Why?
You have no idea how often I have to restrain myself from just like putting my foot out in front of someone.
Oh my God! And then all you see, nobody's present anymore. Everybody's like.
That's true to a point, but I've seen comparison photos of like 50 years ago compared with today. The picture today you have all the people leaning against the wall looking at their pads and phones, but the picture 50 years ago they're all leaning against the wall looking at the newspaper.
Yeah, but that's fine. A newspaper is acceptable. Looking at a screen, I don't know.
I don't know. Well, it's like it's scary that most people get their news through Facebook now.
I would never trust Facebook for news. Are you kidding me?
No, that's where most people get their information from, which is why the bubbles have become so separate. It's like, the progressive bubble, the conservative bubble, the psycho-Trump bubble, and all the other little bubbles around. They're all so separate and fueling into one another.
Oh God!
And then you have the trolls, the troll farms feeding into it on both sides, trying to create division.
You know what? That's something that that quote from Nikita Khrushchev, like with all this horrible stuff that's happening in Syria with the Kurds. Nikita Khrushchev said that about the United States. He said, I'm paraphrasing, we won't have to invade you, we'll destroy you from within. And it's
being done.
It's being done.
The former, I think, head of the KGB is in charge of another country right now and just seeded it like you wouldn't believe.
I mean, just, I don't know, like, because it's new and I haven't been able to like fully read the stories, but just the fact that our troops left United States base quickly without destroying it, and our flag came down and a Russian flag went up.
With all the equipment still there, probably not wiped.
Like, that is just, as an American citizen, like, I can't. That's like a surrender.
Especially coming of age, as we did probably, as at the end of the Cold War, and as the wall was coming down and things were opening up and theoretically getting better and having a more unified world, and then the pendulum swinging like this because of these bad seeds that have found their way to power.
It's and our troops are not allowed to help their Kurd allies. They have been ordered not to help. And, you know, this, it's hitting me, I don't know. I mean, this stuff really, it does affect me, but this time I saw that, did you hear about that Syrian politician? She's 35.
Yes.
Well, there was a picture posted online of her. She must have just been killed. And it just, like, hit me. But the thing that hit me the most was the photographs of dead children. And there was one photograph of, it was like four little ones who were dead, and their mother obviously inconsolable. Like, I mean, the security guard here at QPTV who was outside, she said, you know, people are having a hard time with, you know, children in cages. This is gonna, and she said, this is gonna be much worse. And I said, you're right. And this shouldn't have happened.
No, it was against all sensible advisors' advice on a whim from a phone call from another corrupt individual.
I mean, I don't understand. I mean, I am still hopeful, but like, how is our country going to bounce back? And how are people going to trust? How are other nations going to trust us again?
Yeah, not under this so-called leadership.
No.
So, I don't know.
I don't know. It's just been like, I don't want to like go there into like dark and depressing, but it's so.
It's hard not to. And I go into I try to keep my social media 2 hours before bed, otherwise it'll just echo in my head all night. And and then there's so many things that are reality based that give me nightmares, and there's one commercial on it that just drives me crazy too. It's a Geico commercial, the one with the witch.
I haven't seen the one with the witch.
It's renter's insurance, and there's 2 women are looking for a third roommate who loves to cook and loves cats, and it turns out to be a witch, and she feeds one of them and turns her into a cat. And I hate that commercial. I hate body horror. The first movie that I consider a horror movie that I ever saw is Willy Wonka and the Chocolate Factory, because of what happened to Violet.
I love what happened to Violet.
That gave me nightmares for years.
I thought that was one of the best parts of that movie. She deserved it. She was so obnoxious.
Yes, but it's body horror. I can't deal with body horror.
I love that part. Aw, come on.
Nope.
Nope.
I hear the beginning of that commercial. It's like I run out of the room.
I haven't seen that one.
No.
I like those Liberty Mutual commercials. Liberty, 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 liberty. It's stuck in my head. No, wait. I digress. The ones with the stupid Limu, the emu, and
Yes, that's Liberty also.
I hate those. Those are so dumb.
Emu, emu.
Oh no. Go back to like the funny ones, like the other ones with the she shed. No
Oh,
wait,
yeah.
was she shed a Liberty Mutual commercial? No.
No, that's another one.
I saw I read an interview. They interviewed that actor who played the wife, Cheryl, and how she's being recognized, all over the place because of the she shed. I love that commercial.
It's a national commercial. She's probably made over $100,000 off of that.
Or yeah, she deserves
Yeah.
to. Those two, and it was interesting though reading about how the two actors just immediately had chemistry and hit it off because you see the commercial. It was just well casted.
Yes.
Really well casted. I just love how he's just holding the. I love that guy.
Very good. I want to take a minute to remind our viewers that you are watching Talking About, and I am still John Griffith,
I'm still Cara Kilduff.
and we are still here.
We are. Dun, 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 dun.
Ah, boy.
When are we gonna watch?
Yeah, so we were unfortunately, he got tied up, and we were supposed to have Mr. Justin Utley here tonight. He's got a new song out, and we do still have the video, so we'll take a look at that right about now.
My bags are packed, I'm on my way. I'm searching for a new start. Forget about the words they say. They're done tearing me apart. It's time to find my wings and something to believe in. See what tomorrow brings. When the sun is shining in your eyes and the stars are falling from the skies, soar higher. We're survivors. All I ever want, the air I need. Here I feel alive, I'm breaking free. Soar higher. We're survivors. And out on the edge I crash and fall, and it only makes me stronger. Have no regrets, I'm standing tall, and I won't take it any longer. My new life has begun, and from this moment on I won't hide who I've become. When the sun is shining in your eyes and the stars are falling from the skies, so higher. We're survivors. All I ever want, the air I need. Here I feel alive, I'm breaking free. So higher. We're survivors. With no limits and no boundaries, we're indestructible.
I love Justin.
He's one of my favorite people. I wish he was here. Justin, I wish you would move back to the city. I understand.
Well, hopefully, well, maybe he'll make a migration. He's been here twice in the last month, so
Oh my God.
maybe he's looking to reroute. I don't know.
I miss him. He's on an airplane. God.
Yeah, he got stuck on an airplane.
That was really beautiful. I wish. Justin, you bastard! I wish you were here.
Stop making me cry.
Oh my God.
I saw him while you were off at the wedding. You were at a wedding last month. While you were there, he was performing in the city also. And
Did you go?
I went and I saw him. He was amazing. He's got a new collection of songs out, which is phenomenal. He performed most of the songs that he just put out, and it's familiar, but it's also a departure for him. The music has, in my opinion, much more of an edge, and his style has become more developed and more refined, and he's branching out into slightly different sound. Yeah, it's him, but he's stretching himself, and I think that's wonderful.
I always picture him with a guitar. So seeing him playing the piano was kind of weird. Like, what? He's supposed to have a guitar. Oh, he's so talented.
Yeah. And if you at home have a chance to see him, I highly recommend it.
He is one of the nicest, most genuine people you could ever meet. Oh,
And he does a lot of good for
yes.
for survivors of conversion therapy, which is part of his story. We'll have him tell it the next time he's here. We'll either get him in studio or we'll get him to Skype in. And yeah, he's got a very powerful story himself, and he's turning some of what was his pain into something that's such a wonderful gift toward helping others and helping change the world in a better way, which we need more of right now.
We do. That's why I'm like craving sources of good news, and it's the little things. Like I don't know. It was yesterday. It was yesterday. I was in the park, and I had this dog who is like a superstar, and there was this little girl. She was a toddler, and she just came like walking towards us like a zombie. And I was looking for a parent because the child was untethered, but I mean, it was so cute, and it was a little dog, and she's just so kick-ass. And I saw her dad, and I said, "Is it okay if she pets the dog?" And he said, "Oh yeah, she loves dogs." This little girl was so fearless, and he told me that her favorite thing when they go out is she just loves dogs, and she was so sweet. I think he said she was like 18 months maybe.
Okay.
She was so sweet with the dog. And then she's like trying to touch Kona's face, and the father was like, "I don't know if she likes to have her face touched like that." I was like, "No, it's fine. She's used to little people." And it just made my day.
That's good.
Those little interactions, you know, with little kids, it's great. Another little girl and her mom stopped me. I was down in Tribeca a couple days ago, and this little girl, she was so sassy, this girl. I just wanted to scoop her up. Like, I can't wait to see who she's going to become. I said, "You know what? I told her, I was like, "You look just like your mommy." "Well, not really." She was like a carbon copy of her mom. And I told her how old the dogs were, and she's like, "Well, I'm going to be 6. And I was like, "When are you going to be 6? And she's like, "February 26th. That's my brother's birthday." "No way." Yeah. She was just, wow. And then she wanted to rename the dogs. I said, "Well, it's a small city. We'll probably see each other again." She says, "Okay, if I see you again, I'm going to call that one Felicity and that one Lala." And I was like, "Okay. You're a force of nature. Who am I to mess with you?" I mean, just, wow.
Future president right there.
Oh my God, yes. She was everything. She knew it too, and her mom was just rolling her eyes like laughing.
That's funny. It was a while back. So I was walking around here. I had a meeting of some sort to go to, and I'm just walking to this area where the studio is. It's a mixture of private houses and apartments. I was walking by somebody's front yard, and it's like the mother or the grandmother was there, but there was this little boy with a hat that had fallen over his eyes, and he's just trying to navigate his way around the yard. And I stopped outside of the gate, and I couldn't help but look and smile. And the mom started giving me this dirty look, like I'm this freak. And I looked at her. I went like that to motion for the hat because she didn't look like me, so I assumed she didn't speak English.
Right.
My own stupidity. So I just did that, and she saw it, and she smiled, and I went on my way so as not to freak her out anymore. At which point I became aware of my own stupidity for assuming that because she didn't look like me, she didn't speak English.
Well,
I admit it. I own it. I'm stupid sometimes.
we all are. That's what I like. I like seeing like families and kids and just.
Yeah, it was just so adorable. It was just like this little bumbling toddler with a hat over his eyes, trying to figure out why he can't see.
God. So cute. So cute. What else is going on for you?
The annual cruise. My annual cruise is coming up. Not going with a big group this year. It's just going to be me, Hernan, and my mom and a friend of hers. So we're doing. We booked it before everything happened, but we're headed for the Bahamas. So we're hitting 3 ports in the Bahamas, 2 of which were relatively untouched, and then Freeport, which was hit pretty hard.
They need your money. They
Exactly.
need your tourist dollars. Yeah.
The port just reopened, so I don't have any excursions booked in that port, but I'll go out into the little town outside, and I'll spend a few dollars because even though so much of the port is corporate owned by the cruise lines, it does trickle to the workers in some way, shape, or form. So
Yeah.
got to go spend some money. And like Hernan and I both, right after Dorian, we went and found the local community center, which is actually about a half a mile from our place down there, and they were taking donations for it. And we each said, okay, let's each do $25 worth of food and stuff, and we did. And we dropped it off and things like that. So if somebody's got internet in the Bahamas and is watching this, it's like all that ramen came from us.
Ramen is delicious.
Ramen is delicious, and it's cheap, and it's filling, and it's easy, and you donate what you can, and you do something nice for somebody today, and it comes back to you, even if it's just by making you feel better about yourself for having done something for somebody else.
Yeah, I was a mitzvah goy yesterday. It's Sukkot. I think I probably said it wrong. Sukkot.
But
Anyway,
we understand.
it's a Jewish holiday, and so yeah, yesterday and today, I think no work. No, it's kind of. I think like I don't know much about the holiday, but you can't operate devices. Kind of like a Shabbos situation. So anyway, this woman came into my client's building, and she was just kind of like, they're not supposed to ask directly. So the doorman was like, do you need me to press the elevator button for you? And she said, yes. And he was like, okay. And then I looked at him, and I looked at her, and I said, I'll go. And he said, yeah? And I was like, yeah, come on, let's go. I had the nicest conversation with this lady. She was so sweet, and, just said, have a good night, and then up she went. It was just a small kindness.
Mm-hmm.
And then I told my friend, she's like, you're a mitzvah goy. And I was like, thank you.
But I mean, I'm of the mind that I think everybody, if everybody just gave one day out of their year as a volunteering day, the world would be so much better. I've said that on the show before, and I will continue to say it as long as you listen to me. But you're not listening to me because the world's going to hell.
No, it's not. See, that's another thing. Like, I'm in the park most of the day, and I see all different kinds of people from all different places, and like, I saw a fake Buddhist monk, the fake monks, whatever, try to hand this Muslim couple one of their things, and they were just like, and I thought, look at that's so New York. It's just, like everybody tells those guys to piss off. It was great. But no, I mean, what I was thinking was, I see so many different people, and it was just like, yeah, you're welcome in my country, you're welcome in my country, you're welcome in my country. And like all these different people enjoying the same place. Like, I mean, I don't want to pull a Rodney King, but why can't we get along?
Yeah. It
It doesn't,
doesn't take much.
no, not at all.
But yeah, but it's you have to find the good. You have to find the good, and you have to be good.
Especially now.
Yeah.
Like,
I read this article. Actually, the article was dated July, but it just caught my attention today. This British couple who were on vacation in Canada, on the West Coast, something happened and they got diverted into some little back road, and they accidentally crossed the border into the U.S. and they were taken into detention.
what?
They had a 2-year-old and an infant, and they were taken into detention. They were held. I think it was. They were held on the West Coast for a while, and they were trying to get the phone calls out and find their way home. And finally, the government takes them to an airport. Okay, great. We're getting either back to Canada or getting deported home. But no, they took them to the East Coast into another facility that handles infants and toddlers.
Oh,
This is a British couple, a British family on vacation who made a wrong turn, and at a point.
they separated the family?
To my knowledge, they didn't separate the family, but they held them for more than 3 weeks.
That's ridiculous.
Instead of, okay, take them in for questioning. Yes, they crossed the border when they shouldn't have, but there was no actual border. It was one of those dirt roads. Find
my God.
Find out, who they are, where they're supposed to be. Okay, I mean, it's the computer age. How long does it take to do a quick background check to say, hey,
Not long.
exactly, and then say, listen, get out, don't come back for a year, and let it be done. But no, 3 weeks.
Yeah. All right. I am going to directly quote my girl Kamala, dude's got to go. Dude's got to go.
Things weren't, apple pie and ice cream as far as immigration was concerned under the previous administrations going back, but not this bad.
That is horrible. And, see, that's like that whole,
Puppy dogs and children. Puppy dogs
I
and children.
know.
Puppy dogs and children.
Did you see the thing about the Irish guy who died and he had a recording played at his funeral?
Yes.
If you guys haven't seen this, it's funny. He didn't want his wife to cry leaving the cemetery. He wanted her to leave with a smile on her face. So he made this recording. They're at the gravesite, his coffin's in the ground, and it's bagpipes, and then all of a sudden it's his voice and he's knocking, hey, let me out of here! Let me out of here! I mean, it was pretty funny. Like, look it up if you want to have a quick laugh.
Yeah,
It's
I saw it
cute.
on the news today. It was finding the joy in sadness. And,
Yes.
laughter through tears is one of the greatest things.
And the guy made use of my favorite curse word, the F word, and so I was like, that seemed like a good dude.
Yeah. But I was going someplace in my head and I lost it with a happy story.
Oh, you're gonna go down the dark, depressing road.
That's where I've been. I'm happy that I got myself out of it tonight. So I'm grateful for that.
Yeah.
I'm grateful for the show, because I missed last month because it's like the guest fell apart. You had other plans, and at some point I just said no. But without the creative outlet, even just the once a month,
Yeah.
it starts to wear on me, and I start to bounce around in my own head, and that's a dangerous place.
Mm-hmm. Oh, I get it.
So I am sorry, Hernan. Please forgive me.
Please.
I didn't have my creative outlet for a month. And it's funny, it's just other producers that I work with here didn't have their shows either. And it's like
Really?
even if I can't make their shows, it's like a lot of times I'll do the editing for them
Yeah.
because I love doing that. And I didn't have that to do either. So I had very little bit of a creative outlet.
Wait,
so-
you didn't go to a TV show taping?
Last month? No. I know. Kelly
Whoa.
won't recognize me.
Whoa! I was thinking about that this morning before I left the house. I was brushing my teeth. I'm like, I wonder if John's been to a show lately.
No. And this I'm here for a week this time, and it's like I had tickets for The View, which I canceled because I had made a doctor's appointment and they conflicted. And then the doctor's office said, "Oh well, your insurance doesn't cover this injection, a vaccine that I'm gonna get." And then, okay, so I booked a Kelly ticket. And then I said, well, let me double check with the actual insurance company just to make sure the doctor's office is right. And it is covered. It's like I have like the one little division of the plan that actually covers this injection. So I have a Kelly ticket that I can't use because it's the same time as my appointment. So
You're damned if you do, you're damned if you don't.
I know, I'm skipping a month of Kelly.
I know. When we watched Justin's video, I checked the score for the Habs game.
No,
They're losing.
sorry.
I know you guys are probably all Rangers fans, but yeah,
What can you do?
I'm hooked now. It's a great game. It's so fast. Do you like hockey?
It's not my thing.
Oh my God, it's so fast.
I'm not a fan of sports ball.
Sports ball.
You never. I was watching this game show, and it's like these two husbands were competing, and one was in the dark room, and the other one was answering questions. Yeah, they have to match answers. It was about sports, and he was like, "My husband will just guess, and he always just calls it sports ball." So now I think of sports as anything sports. Oh, it's sports ball. I don't play the sports ball.
It's such a good game. Oh my God. Okay, the first time I went to see a professional hockey game, it was a Rangers game. We were sitting like 5 rows behind the goal, and it was so fast and so medieval and kind of violent. And, like soccer players and football players, when they get injured, they're like, They stopped the game for like 3 minutes, this hockey game. There was blood all over the ice. They just come out, chip it away, smooth it over, start to play again. And I was like, oh, God.
Well, I can see that because I know that the game is less commercialized than other sports, which have been retooled to fit television. I guess it hasn't caught up with hockey yet.
No.
So the pace is probably.
Oh, my God. It's fantastic. Did you hear that?
Yeah, I did. Well, we're into the fall.
We are, and everything smells great except for the pee.
That'll go away for the winter soon,
Sorta.
sort of. Just watch out for the yellow snow.
Oh, God.
But, yeah, I love this. I love the smell of the changing leaves and stuff like that, and just the cool crispness. It's like the week that I'm up here. I'm fortunate that it's a nice week, and yeah, there's so much going on in the city. Well, always in the city, there's so much going on. But it's like I love things. There's a corn maze by my house.
Oh, my God.
And it's like, oh, I am so excited. Last time I was here, I went to the county fair,
Yeah.
which is at the Queen's Farm,
Yeah.
and I entered my raspberry jam, and I entered the zucchini cake that I make with my grandmother's recipe, and
Did you win?
I got 2 blue ribbons.
What?
Yeah,
Right on. That's pretty cool.
yeah. I wanted to do it last year, but life went to hell last year, and this year I said, okay, I'm gonna do it, and I want to see if I get a ribbon. If I'm
That's
lucky.
so nice. It's so old-fashioned, don't you know? Oh, gosh. Oh, that's cute. Oh,
Now I can call it my blue ribbon jam.
God. You know what I still have in my cupboard? Is it still good?
It's if the seal hasn't popped, it's still good.
Oh, because I have salsa that you made. The salsa was so fresh. You said let it sit for a couple days
Yeah.
so it'll get hotter. It's probably gonna
It's probably at peak melding.
Oh, okay. Because now I'm like, oh,
It'll only
shit.
get so hot. So it just takes a couple of.
Oh,
it takes
alright.
about a week for the flavors to come
Oh,
together.
I forgot that I had that. Now I gotta go get some good chips. Ugh.
I love cooking and canning and all this old-fashioned stuff. So
I would like to learn how, actually. Like my friend's sister, I asked her, she had made for Rosh Hashanah, she made round challah bread, you know, like no
yeah.
ends. Yeah. And and she like put something on top of it. And so we're eating it, and I was just like, Rachel, will you teach me how to make this? She's so cute. She's like, yeah, sure. And then she made something else. And I said, will you teach me how to make this? Yeah, sure, it's easy. And I'm like, yeah. I can't wait.
Good.
And she's like way younger than me. And I'm like, can you teach me how to make, like, you know?
I'm grateful that my mother taught me how to do some of the canning stuff. And then I figured out, with the help of the internet, how to do other things.
I love the internets.
So, yes, it is so.
You can have any question answered.
I know. Well, I'm going to need it for Thanksgiving because we're hosting. It's like I don't know how to sew up the back of the turkey.
Oh, God. My brother's big on, I'm going to go to Texas this year. My brother's big on brining the turkey first.
Okay.
And I don't remember what it's supposed to do, but it tastes really good.
Hernan's got the recipe for his mom's Puerto Rican seasonings, and so his sister's going to come over the day before, and we're gonna season it all up and just let it soak up all the goodness.
Wait, you're going to have a whole bunch of Puerto Rican food, right?
I'm sure. There's only going to be about 6 of us, so it's not going to be too crazy. But the turkey's going to be with the Puerto Rican seasonings.
Oh, that means you're going to have some pork.
Probably.
You can have just turkey. You're going to have some pork, too.
Probably.
And some, oh, God. Maybe I should go to your place.
You're welcome.
Maybe I'll ask my brother. Oh, you just gave me some ideas. Yes.
Well,
Horrify my mom. Make a turkey, make some pork, make some rice and beans, make a whole bunch of good stuff.
just go crazy.
As my friend Robin says, she's like, you can't just have white people food all the time. You need food with seasoning, Queen. I'm like, it's true. Anyway.
But it's so do you like? Well, you like hot and spicy to a degree. Yeah. So do
Yeah.
I. Hernan does not. So
What?
yeah.
Oh my God, this guy.
I know. I was like, I said that to him once. He's like, no, that's Mexican. I'm Puerto Rican. We don't like it hot. I don't know, but we're just about out of time, so it does fly by.
It went by quick.
Yeah, we're gonna be here next month, but we're gonna be dark in December. So reruns are forever. So have a great holiday season. Enjoy your fall. We're gonna be live again in November, but
Yes.
we're off in December.
Awesome.
I'm John Griffith.
I'm Cara Kilduff.
Thank you so much, and you have a great night.
Have a good night.